Hiya, Zan here. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another speed build. So today we are building a dormitory in Brychester for university students, and I decided to do Tidal Tower, which is in the Foxbury area, because it said it was for returning students and it has some nice single room dorms, so I imagine it being kind of the nicer dormitory out of the two, because next door to it there's an identical one called Brinny Tower, and it said it was more for freshmen, like students in their first year, so that one probably isn't quite as nice. But yeah, for this I wanted some kind of separate apartments within it, just so like some students would have their own kitchen and living space, but then could also come down to this first story and use the kind of shared area to meet with others as well if they wanted. So yes, I never actually stayed in a dormitory myself at university. I really wanted to, but my parents actually lived in the same city I was attending university, so I was able to stay at home while going, which I'm actually really glad of now, because some of my friends who stayed in dorms are still paying back living costs now, just because it adds so much more. And I guess some people can't help with that, like some people who don't have families living in the same city of the university they're attending, they kind of have to do the whole dorm thing, and I'm not sure how expensive it is in other countries like America compared to New Zealand, but yeah, it can get quite pricey here. I think I visited my friend once in a dormitory, and it was a shared one, so her and her friend each had their beds in the same room, but then I think they had a bathroom to themselves, but then there was like a cafeteria downstairs where they were served meals twice a day. But yeah, I actually watched a video about dorms at a New Zealand university just to kind of see, because I was curious, and there are ones like that just have rooms and then a shared eating area, kind of like how this was set up originally, but then there's also apartments. So I thought including the apartments in this wasn't too far-fetched, but I don't know, I guess it depends what country you're from. But yeah, I played around with the layout for this for ages, which I didn't show because it probably would have taken up half the video. And originally I had the staircase in the center of the build, and you'd go upstairs to the kind of separate apartments that would cost more than just the dorm rooms on the first floor. So I'll insert a clip of that here of when I finally decided the layout. So I thought it made sense for the elevator and stairs to kind of be tucked away in the corner, so when you come through there's a kind of main kitchen area, bathroom and some single dorm rooms, and then upstairs we have a 2-bedroom apartment on the right, and on the left here is a single bedroom kind of apartment. So that's for Sims, I guess, with a bit more money, or they've been on campus a bit longer and can perhaps afford some better living, or their parents are funding it, I'm not sure. So yeah. And for this I actually started building on the second floor, doing those apartments first, just because I got really excited about that bit and decorating them, but I thought for the sake of this video it would make more sense to show the kind of first story at the beginning. But yes, on the first floor it's kind of got the main kitchen and living space, which we put a TV, game console, there's table tennis, and one of those, what are they? They build something with matchsticks at tables, so there's a bunch of activities for the Sims to do. And here's the shared bathroom. I included those toilet stools that came with university, but I think I might switch them out for normal ones, just because I've found so far with the gameplay, the Sims who live in the apartments upstairs, if they need to go to the bathroom, they end up walking down to use those stools, even though the toilets in their apartments are closer. So I don't know, hopefully they'll fix that with a patch update that I'm sure will come out sometime soon. Here we're just popping up to the rooftop before returning to the first story. So I wanted to include a rooftop full of activities, because I imagine the students would be holding a bunch of parties up here, so it's probably not an area they're supposed to be, but they've brought out a bunch of items to come up here on a nice day. That DJ booth thing will probably break if it rains, because it seems all electronics do that, even the one that came with backyard stuff, which I thought would work outdoors even if raining. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. I put a kind of roof thing over it that came with the toddler pack, so I'm gonna see if that works, but I doubt it will work. Yes, this thing here, I doubt that's gonna work. It probably needs a proper roof if you don't want it to break, but anyhow. Also, I should mention, because this storm and the one directly next to it were identical to begin with, I didn't want to change the exterior completely. So basically the whole first floor's exterior I kept the same, and then kept that style kind of for the top, just because I wanted, if people had the other one in their game already, that this would just kind of seamlessly fit into the world or the neighborhood. So I didn't want it looking too drastically different just because there's two identical ones, but maybe in a future build, if I do one of these again, I might do it quite different. But it's still nice that it matches the rest of the building anyhow. Here we're just going down to these dorm rooms where they all have to share a bathroom and the common living area. For me and my gameplay, I think these are going to be roommates that the Sims have, because I'd probably want my Sims living in the nicer apartments upstairs and then having the random roommates in the dorms down here. So I tried to keep these rooms pretty straightforward, just with the basic bed, desk, set of drawers, but then also added in a few kind of decorations that makes it look like there are Sims actually living here. I found with the roommates, they tend to end up putting a lot of items on the empty spaces in their bedrooms, even if it's not. Like in one of the upstairs apartments, I had a roommate, he replaced the lamp with a crystal, and then a whole bunch of other roommates started putting crystals in their rooms. So I don't know if it's just the roommates my Sim was living with, if they were all crystal obsessed, or if that's the only item they bring out. I also added a shared laundry room on the first floor because I like the idea of like the students doing their own laundry or whatever, but I also found they would never start their own laundry, so unless my Sim had put a load on to wash, then they wouldn't touch it. Whereas if that had happened, they would then chuck it in the dryer and finish off the load. But yes, hopefully if they can start doing their own washing, that might be kind of neat. Another thing is, and I only find these things just because when I really enjoy new features, I'm just like, if these little tweaks happened, it would be even better. In some of my other builds I've done, I think like the one I did where I took a build from The Sims 1, so someone else had recreated the house identically, and it was quite a nostalgic build for me because I'd often play it in The Sims 1. So I renovated that and I added in like a new outdoor section living area. So I had them find a roommate who would live there just as like a source of extra money, I guess, and then they had a shared laundry on the lot. And the only thing is the roommates, like girlfriends or boyfriends, will often come over. And so if I lock the room to the main house, because I want to keep the roommates in their separate living space, the girlfriends or boyfriends will still come in the main area. So if they could just add it so that those Sims also are locked out, that would be very good. Here we're just going upstairs, so this has the private studio and then also a apartment with 2 bedrooms. So this one here is just the single room studio, and these have really nice views over the whole campus. I was originally thinking I should go with Foxbury colours for all of this, so like yellow and red, but then I didn't want it to like look like McDonald's or a bit over the top, so I ended up just kind of sticking to the red in this apartment with some bits of yellow but also other colours. So yeah, it's just not too over the top in that regard. Also with Discover University, I realised that you can't have stoves in dorms, so the kitchens for these apartments might be slightly overkill since I have so much counter space with them, and really you can only like use the microwave and stuff. It sounded like quite a few people were annoyed with that, but then it was like some others were saying, well, that's the reality of dorms in America. that you just have like microwave food or whatever, which is kind of hard to imagine, but I guess they do have a shared cafeteria commons room, so that's where they can eat as well. I don't know, it would have been nice to have the option for them to cook so that you could have these kind of apartment ideas, just because I guess people from all around the world play The Sims, and dormitories in all those countries would be different. Like in New Zealand you would have stoves, but I guess this is kind of based in America, so I don't know, I'm not too hung up about it, but some people are. Here we're just finishing off this bedroom, so there's quite a bit more yellow in this that I remember, but I think I do change the colour scheme up quite a bit. The roommate I had living in the studio apartment, sometimes he would just come in to use the bed to go to sleep and then leave and mostly use the common area downstairs, but he did use this bathroom a couple times, so it was like yay, instead of them going down just to use those toilet cubicles. So I think it kind of works fairly well having roommates in these separate apartments up here. But I do realise these apartments are pretty nice for students. Like the majority of students would not be able to afford this, but I just wanted for this dorm to kind of have these nicer ones. I think it would be also cool to do some more run-down studenty dorms, like with all the grotty wallpaper and slime on the counters and stuff like that. That would be fun as well. I think the one in, what's it called, in City Living, the Spice District, there's kind of a dirty apartment there that has like rats and bad plumbing and stuff, and I previously made that as kind of a student apartment, so it might be cool to do another build in there, because those ones have a bit more character, and it's fun when everything just kind of goes wrong in the house. I don't know, just nice to have that as a different way of playing the game, I guess. So here we're onto the 2-bedroom apartment and just doing the lounge. This one, I think I was going for like the red color scheme as well at first, but it ends up being blue because I thought I didn't have to stick with that. Here I'm chucking in a bookshelf, and then I connect some of the cabinets at the top. I still find it hard, like even the cabinets and their matching countertop parts, often the colors look different. Like even if you're selecting what looks to be the same shade, it will be a little lighter or darker and often doesn't work very well. So I now just kind of pick completely different styles as the cabinets, and sometimes that seems to work better. But that bookshelf shade of wood seemed to match the counters pretty well and looked kind of cool to chuck in there at the end. I also put some shelves with a bit of clutter items, and I put some coffee grinder and other coffee, what's it called? It's just like a proper coffee machine there, because since these Sims are living pretty well for students, I imagine they might have a expensive coffee machine as well. So yeah, I think the sim I was playing with on this lot was in one of the bedrooms here in this shared apartment. And yeah, there's a fire exit on this floor that kind of connects around the back of that room there, just because I wanted stairs leading up to the roof to have access points on the first and second floor. Also, one of the bedrooms in this apartment has its own ensuite bathroom, and then there's a kind of a shared one here. And I use a new shower that came with this pack, which I really like, because usually the showers kind of come in those boxed glass type ones. I'm not explaining it well, but this one you just chuck on the wall, so it's just got the faucet and the taps, and it looks quite clean and nice. And I just kind of tucked it around the corner and put a window there just to bring light into the shower, which is maybe kind of weird in terms of privacy, but I'm guessing you would lock the door anyway, so it's okay. But yeah, I think it would be quite stressful finding accommodation as a university student now, at least in my city of Wellington, just because in recent years the demand for rented properties has gotten to be so much higher than the amount of like flats and apartments that are actually available. So rent prices have gone up to be so high, like it's actually quite ridiculous, the cost of living here. And the university year starts in March and goes to November, just because our summer is like December, January. I guess in America, because your summer's in the middle of the year, I think your university year, does that start in like August or just after August? But yeah, anyhow, so often in like January, February, a lot more houses come on the market, but then like that's when everybody is looking for them. So if you go to viewings of a flat, there might be like 20 different people there looking alongside of you, and places can get just so many applications. Like, oh god, it'd be stressful. Like, I've heard of students, like, they're looking for months beforehand for accommodation before their school year starts, but they can't get anything, so they might have to start studying and just like living on friends' couches while looking for a place. So yeah, I'm kind of lucky in that way that I was able to live at home while attending university, because it seems pretty crazy. So here we are just finishing off the foyer area of the apartments before we move on to some final screenshots. So I quite like the exterior, how it matches the other ones still. It's just that the second floor has been added. Here is the first floor of the main kitchen and common room area. I don't know why that guy's leg is in the rubbish bin, and I don't know why we don't have trash compactors yet, so they could be like neatly tucked away in the kitchen, because I always find it kind of awkward trying to find a place for the rubbish bin. Here's just the hallway of the kind of single rooms off to the side. So there's one here with 2 beds, and then the other 2 just have beds for one sim for the bedroom. So there's still that option for your sims to just to have a bedroom and then shared bathroom and living area, like which was originally in this build. The laundry here, which is also on the first floor. And heading up, this is the apartment that is shared. So there's 2 bedrooms, a living space that looks over the campus. I really love the view from in here. Again, probably don't need all that counter space there since you can't use stoves, but anyhow, this is the first bedroom. All the bedrooms, I made sure to put desks in them because I imagine the students would want their own study space if things get too noisy in the common area. This is a shared bathroom for that apartment. I don't think I took a screenshot of the ensuite bathroom. Here's the foyer, and then we move on to the studio apartment. So it's got that same nice view over the campus. I really love this little kitchen here. Both of them have bars because, I don't know, I imagine they would be making drinks for their friends quite often since it's university. The bedroom, and then the bedroom leads on to the bathroom. There's a door and also a door to the bathroom from the living room. Some screenshots of the outside. I like the rooftop party area with a bunch of activities for them to do and how it kind of looks out over the whole neighborhood. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!